Hi there, you're in the lab with your mate JJ. Today is Learning the Art of Electronics Day. We're going to be learning the art of electronics. So the job title for today is Chief Fuse Blower. Today I'm the Chief Fuse Blower. We won't be blowing any fuses today though, because today is theory only. There's no prac today. We've got some worked examples from the coursework, and we've got some references to the textbook, and two exercises to do from the textbook. So we're exercises from the textbook, and we've got a page of worked examples from the coursework. So I'll throw the computer and I'll show you the notes. I've written up the two lots of examples. I worked out the exercises, so assuming I haven't made a mess of it, that they'll, from your point of view, they're worked examples. We're working them out together now. So let's jump over to the computer and I'll show you my notes.
All right. So here we are on the computer. This is inthelabwithjj.com/wiki. It's the show's wiki, ITL wiki. We're working through learning the art of electronics. Today is worked examples, DC circuits. We're working through 1W.2. I'll also open that up here. Now, this is about resistor power dissipation. And there's a reference to section 1.2.2.c in the text. So I've made some notes about that here. This is them. So we start with our definitions. We've got Ohm's law, V equals IR, and the power equals IV. But because of oh, hang on a sec, I'll just be back in a tick. I'm back. Sorry about that. Of course, didn't really bother you, did it? So as I was saying, we've got Ohm's law, V equals IR, and then power equals IV. And because of Ohm's law, we can express it as I squared R or V squared on R. Now there's two exercises. There's exercise 1.5. Show that it's not possible to exceed the power rating of a quarter-watt resistor of resistance greater than 1 kilo ohm, no matter how you connect it, in a circuit operating from a 15-volt battery. So we're given R equals 1 kilo ohm and V equals 15 volts. Power is V squared on R, which is 15 squared on 1000, which is 0.225 watts. As 0.225 watts is less than the quarter watt, which is 0.25 watts, we can see that it's not possible to exceed the power rating of quarter watt resistor of resistance greater than 1K, no matter how you connect it, in a circuit operating from 15-volt battery. And then there's exercise 1.6. This has actually got three sub problems. New York City requires about 10 to the power of 10 watts of electrical power at 100. Oh, that's 155 volts. That's wrong. I'll just fix that. Hang on. All right, I fixed that. So if I just press refresh here, that should say it correctly now. It says 115 volts. It says that a heavy power cable might be an inch in diameter, but we calculate what will happen if we try to supply the power through a cable 1 foot in diameter, so 12 times bigger, made of pure copper. Its resistance is 0.05 microohms, which is 5 times 10 to the minus 8 ohms per foot. And then we calculate the following. So first we calculate the power lost per foot from I squared R losses. Given power equals 10 to the 10 watts, volts equals 115 volts, resistance is 0.05 microohms per foot, and that's 5 times 10 to the minus 8 ohms per foot. We can express the current as power divided by voltage, which is 10 to the power of 10 divided by 115, which is approximately equal to 8.7 times 10 to the power of 7 amps. The power loss per foot is I squared R, which is 8.7 times 10 to the 7 squared times 5 times 10 to the minus 8 approximately equals 3.78 times 10 to the 8 watts per foot. So the solution is the power lost per foot from I squared R losses is approximately 3.78 times 10 to the 8 watts per foot. The length of the cable over which you will lose all 10 to the 10 watts of power, the length equals the total power divided by the power lost per foot, which is 10 to the power of 10 divided by 3.78 times 10 to the power of 8, which approximately equals 26.4 feet. So we call it roughly 26 feet. How hot the cable will get. The relevant physics is the Stephen-Boltzmann law, which is P equals sigma area temperature to the power of 4, with sigma equals 5.67 times 10 to the minus 8 watts per meter squared Kelvin to the power of 4. The power is 10 to the power of 10 watts. The power dissipated per foot of cable is 3.78 times 10 to the 8 watts per foot. The cable diameter is 1 foot, which is 0.3048 meters. The length of cable over which all the power is lost is 26.4 feet, which is 8.05 meters. The surface area of 1 foot of cable, and that's just the outer surface area, not the ends. So it's not the full cylinder, it's just the cable area around the diameter. So that equals pi dl, which is pi times 0.3048 times 0.3048, approximately equals 0.292 meters squared. So the radiated power density is P on A equals 3.78 times 10 to the power of 8 divided by 0.292, approximately equals 1.29 times 10 to the 9 watts per square meter. Solving for temperature, we get T to the power of 4 equals P divided by A over sigma, which equals 1.29 times 10 to the power of 9 over 5.67 times 10 to the power of minus 8, approximately equals 2.27 times 10 to the power of 16. Taking the fourth root, we get temperature is 1.2 times 10 to the 4 Kelvin, which means the temperature is approximately 1200 Kelvin. So the cable will get approximately 1200 Kelvin hot, as the boiling point of copper is about 2835 Kelvin. The cable will evaporate. It will turn into super hot plasma and boil away. There's some notes here. This assumes black body radiation with the emissivity of 1, which ignores convection and conduction, ignores ambient temperature. Real copper emissivity is below 1, so the required temperature would be even higher. Copper melts at 1358 K and boils at 2835 K. So at 12,000 K, it would be far beyond ordinary vapor. And as requested in the book, the solution to the puzzle is that New York City doesn't get its power through a 1 foot diameter copper cable at 115 volts. Instead, it uses high voltage transmission lines to reduce the current and thus the I squared R losses. And it uses multiple parallel cables to further reduce the current in each cable. All right, so that's the end of the 2 examples from the textbook. So if we just pop back over to the notes from the coursework, we'll go through the various work solutions that were in the coursework. So as a reminder, the E12 series of 10% resistors is 10, 12, 15, 18, 22, 27, 33, 39, 47, 56, 68, 82, and then on we go to the next order of magnitude. So there's a bunch of problems. The first problem is, what is the smallest quarter watt resistor one should put across a 5 volt supply? Power is V squared on R, R is V squared on P, R is 5 squared on 1 quarter, which is 25 on 0.25 equals 100 ohms. So the smallest quarter watt resistor one should put across a 5-volt supply is 100 ohms. The next problem is, what is the lowest value surface mount 1/8 of a watt resistor one should put between minus 15 volts and plus 15 volts? Again, power equals V squared on R and R equals V squared on P. In this case, R equals 15 minus negative 15, which is 30 squared, divided by 1/8 is 900 divided by 0.15125, which is 7,200 ohms. So the lowest value surface mount 1/8 watt ES12 resistor one should put between minus 15 volts and plus 15 volts is 8.2 kilo ohms. We had to round it up a fair bit there to get the value from the ES12 series. Then the next problem is, what is the maximum voltage one ought to put across a 10 watt, 10 ohm power resistor? And again, P equals V squared on R, so V equals the square root of P times R, which equals the square root of 10 watts times 10 ohms, the square root of 100 equals 10 volts. So the maximum voltage one ought to put across a 10 watt, 10 ohm power resistor is 10 volts. And then the next problem is the electric power is transmitted at very high voltages to reduce power loss in the transmission lines. By what factor are long distance power line losses reduced if the power company manages to raise its transmission voltage from 100,000 volts to 1 million volts? We assume the power company delivers the same amount of power in either case, and that the resistance of the transmission line is unchanged. So the solution, the power losses are proportional to voltage times current in the line, or equivalently to current squared times resistance, where R is the resistance of a unit length of the line. Stepping up the voltage by a factor of 10 steps down the current by the same factor while transmitting a given level of power. Since power loss is proportional to the square of the current, the power dissipated will fall by 1 on 10 squared is 1 on 100, a big reward. The change sounds worthwhile, but the high voltages are troublesome to insulate, so 1 megavolt is about the practical limit. And then the final problem is, why does high voltage transmission militate strongly against Thomas Edison's program of DC power transmission? The answer is that AC transmission is favored for most purposes because stepping AC voltages up and down is easy, requiring only transformers. Stepping DC voltages up and down is more difficult, requiring more complex and expensive equipment. This was a major factor in the war of currents between Edison, who championed DC, and Tesla/Westinghouse, who championed AC, in the late 19th century, which ultimately led to the widespread adoption of AC for power transmission. High voltage DC transmission is possible and is used in some cases, particularly for long distance undersea cables, but it is generally more expensive and less efficient than AC transmission for most applications. So there you go. Take you over to the farewell cam and we'll wrap up.
And that's a wrap. So just a super quick theory day today. What have we got coming up next? I didn't check. I think there's still more to do in this chapter. So we'll be picking that up next week. We'll be working through section 1W.2. And then there's more of that to come. But we're going to leave it there for today, and we'll pick it up again next week. And of course, I'm going to now work on the Maxitronics 30-in-1 video. Should be coming out on Thursday, so if you're interested, check it out. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching, and please remember to hit like and subscribe.